Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics, Strobo. Strobo here is the 2013 Traveling Convention exclusive, and in my opinion, is another one of those little victories for Masters of the Universe fans. You see, Strobo here appeared in a comic that was featured in the Masters of the Universe magazine back in the 80s. He was also on the verge of getting an action figure in the vintage toy line, but never made it out due to the cancellation of that line. So here we are, after all these years, finally getting a Strobo figure. Yes, he's incredibly obscure, but it's the fact that we get figures like this that really excites me personally about Masters of the Universe Classics. So Strobo comes on the same style Masters Classics blister card packaging that we've seen for each of the figure in the line so far. The back of that package gives us a look at other Classics figures, and even presents us with a brand new bio for Strobo. So just like a lot of the figures in the vintage toy line, Strobo here was designed to easily reuse existing parts. Looking at him, it's obvious that he's nothing more than a mash of parts between Cyclone and Zodak. Now he also sports trunks from Icarius, so practically everything here is reused. The only new part on this particular figure is his blue cape. But even though it's all existing parts, the new paint job does a great job of making him stand out as his own character. He's got a nice mixture of metallic silver and blue paint. On his chest, instead of the radar lenticular seen on Cyclone, Strobo has a very reflective mirror-like sticker. I really like how this reflective piece turned out. It's what really stands out on this character's overall look.
Alright guys, let's get a closer look at Strobo here. Now, he's just a reuse of parts all the way around, so there's really nothing that special or different about him. Of course, he does have the cape, but it's just like all the other capes we've seen in the Classics line so far. It's very soft and flexible, can move around, so it really shouldn't hinder any of his articulation or anything like that. So here we go with the head. Turns left and right, rolls around, moves up and down slightly. You got the ball-jointed shoulder, so the arms can still move outwards, forwards, backwards, swivels at the bicep, swivel at the elbow, swivel at the wrist there. He does still have the torso cut, even though he's got the mirror. You can still move his body up and down. You can swivel him at the waist. The Icarius loincloth is pretty soft, just like it was on Icarius, so you can still move the legs outwards, forwards, and backwards. You can get them in a pretty decent sitting pose. So you should be able to sit in a Wind Raider or anything like that if you want to. You got the standard joints at the knees. There is no ankle pin showing, and the ankle joints are nice and tight on this guy. So good articulation, nice and solid, and nothing really out of the ordinary here. It's all pretty standard. The cape is the new piece on here, and it actually can come off if we just pop off the Strobo head there. It just pops right off over the neck. It just kind of sits over his neck there, so you can pull that off, and you can use it for anybody else if you want to do that. So there you go. That's pretty much Strobo. Now, one of the things that Strobo comes with is an additional head that's for a completely different action figure, which is kind of cool. So you guys all remember Zodak with a K, right? He did not come with an additional unhelmeted head, whereas this guy in the MYP cartoon series ran around with his helmet off a lot. So one of the cool things about Strobo is that he comes with an unhelmeted Zodak head. So finally, after all these years, we can display our Zodak the way he should probably be displayed, with the helmet off. So just pop that old Zodak helmeted head off. We can put the new unhelmeted head on, and bam! He's ready to fight some Snake Men.
The unhelmeted head for Zodak is probably what's really going to be of interest for a lot of collectors out there, because it's fantastic to finally have this, since the character appeared without his helmet most of the time in the MYP cartoon series. It fits nicely with the figure, with the paint matching up pretty well on both the skin tone and the blue tattoos. The other accessory Strobo includes comes straight out of that comic that he was featured in. This green meteor is a piece of the Dark Star, which was sort of the focal point of that particular comic. The green Meteor itself is made of a translucent plastic, so it's got this really nice glow to it when held under light. It sits on a red pedestal, and unfortunately, it's non-removable. The whole thing is one solid piece. But even so, I do still really like this accessory. I love that we're getting more and more artifacts like this from the comics and the cartoons, and I hope that this trend continues on. So there you go, guys. There's a look at Strobo. I really like this figure. Yes, he's nothing more than a mishmash of pre-existing pieces, and he's incredibly obscure. But I think that's why I like him, honestly. He's one of those characters I always wanted to see finally get released, and I think he turned out terrific. His accessories definitely make him, though. That piece of the Dark Star is a great artifact to add to the collection, and it's so great that we finally can pose our Zodak without his helmet. Those two accessories are what is really going to sell this guy, I feel. But as I said in the beginning, this is a traveling convention exclusive this year, and I think that's a perfect home for him. He's a figure that not everyone will want, so it's good that he's not part of the regular line. He'll be available at PowerCon this September, and will also make his way to other conventions that are yet to be announced. But if you don't want to wait, Strobo here will actually be available as part of the Early Access program in March on MattyCollector.com, only for those who have a 2013 Club Eternia subscription. Until next time,